Hello and welcome back to Little Lessons of Light. This is cooking magic meals with this beautiful human.
Hello, I'm Lucy, culinary nutritionist, plant-based chef, kitchen witch, all of the above.
All of the good things. I'm Faye, I'm the founder here at Little Lessons of Light, and this evening's magic meals recipe is very special. This is a cleanse, and this is going to give an opportunity for a longer cleanse than the 3-day one we did for you guys last time. So take it away, Lucy.
Yes, so this is khichdi. It is a dish from India, an Ayurvedic style dish. You find it in many restaurants besides being on a cleanse, but the combination of mung bean with rice cooked down in this way with these certain spices is so easily digestible to your system. You go into a fasting mode. But unlike a water fast or the master cleanse, you're getting your full amino acid profile from this. So you have energy, you have nutrition coming in while detoxing. So it's kind of magical in that way. It helps to rebuild tissue. They give it to patients in the hospital in India to help nourish and regain health. Also, it's very tasty. It's more close to a mono diet. So this fast or cleanse, all we do for every meal is eat this dish for however long you want to do it. So I'm on day 6.
And I'm on day 5. And we have some live guests here with us today. So you may hear questions coming from off camera. And that's just questions that naturally have occurred having started this cleanse, done it for a little bit, got used to it, and now we're all going to get to learn what the method is for making this dish.
Yes, and it's very, very simple and very inexpensive, which is another reason why I love this cleanse, especially at this time of year, a colder time of year. So I've just thrown in some mung beans and rice that have been soaking. You could soak them overnight. You could also not soak them. The soaking just cuts down the cook time. So that's going there with just water, nothing else, easy peasy. And then the flavor country arrives. So I'm heating up some oil here. You could use ghee. I've got grapeseed oil in here, avocado oil works well, coconut oil. And then the spices that you use in this dish, traditionally coriander, cumin, fenugreek, fennel, turmeric, and then hing, which is,
I love.
It's like fermented fennel pollen. It has a very interesting smell. She loves the smell.
I love the smell.
I don't particularly love the smell, but it gives a dimension of flavor that you can't find anywhere else. I'm just gonna let her smell it.
Fragrance my apartment with it.
Okay, so I've got the oil warming here. I like to hand grind my spices because I like to be involved with my food, and I like the vibration, the sound comes off. I like to smell the aroma from the fresh ground spices. I'm throwing turmeric in here, beautiful bright turmeric. And then I've got coriander in here. I'm throwing whole fennel. So you could conceivably just get the powdered ground already and throw them in there. But like I said, I like to, exert some of my vital life force into the food and connect with it in that way before I throw it in. And then cumin. And this dish, like I was telling you before, it's hard to kind of mess it up. You just keep adding. I always say that, I think. But I really feel like it's true of this one. Like, oh, this thing is heavy. You just add more water if it's too thick. Or if it needs more spice, then add more spice. If it needs more salt, add more salt. You can't, I guess you could add too much salt. Then you might be up the creek, but other than that.
You gave me a big hint about salt, which is something I think I've been doing wrong with rice my whole life. And you said to add the salt closer towards the end.
Yes, but rice is okay to put salt in the beginning. It's just with the beans.
Got it.
Because they interact with the starch in the beans, and then they toughen up the beans, make them cook longer. Make them take longer to cook.
So reserve the salt until the end.
Yeah, with beans and legumes. The tougher the bean, the less you want to put salt closer to the start time of the cooking. Isn't that pretty? And there's also some dandelion leaves in here that I threw in because I had some, and they're very detoxifying for the liver, which is what we're doing with this cleanse anyway, so might as well assist with that. This needs a lot more water, but that being said, there are different versions of khichdi. So this is a version that's already cooked. It's a little thicker. Some people like it very soupy. Some people like it even thicker than that, like a mashed potato. Just like, you know, to your taste. Throw this in. Toast the spices. All of those. And then you know it's hot enough and right away it starts to, you know, make noise.
And what's the reason for toasting them?
Oh, you bring out more of the aroma and more of the flavor before throwing it into the mix.
Also makes your home smell beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
I've noticed by doing it this week.
When you walk into your house after eating khichdi all week, it's like, wow. It's like it's so inviting, so warm, and very family-like to me. Even though I'm not Indian, but probably in a past life. Most likely, definitely.
Well, Indian food is very, very beloved to British people, so I was a fan immediately.
So I just put some fenugreek in here, which doesn't break down quite well, but it's okay, it'll give a little crunch to the khichdi. So we throw that in there, let those pop. But if you wanted to change up the flavor profile of this, you could throw in some garam masala, some black pepper. I'm going to fry up some garlic to top the soup with. So I'm just going to let that sit on very low so you don't burn the spices. And then you'll know when they're kind of ready, when they really start to give off some more fragrance. But it already tastes good. What's interesting too about this is as soon as you put that in, it already tastes good. Even though it does need salt, it still has good flavor. Yeah.
Now you can slow cooker this. That's what I've been doing all week because I'm busy with my little man.
Yes.
And it's perfect because you can put it in. You've got to check it to make sure the water is still topped up. And I learned the hard way one of the days this week when I made very thick khichdi. But that's helpful for people who need to not be constantly on top of it. You can do it in a slow cooker.
Yeah, and it will come out much thicker in the slow cooker for sure.
Yeah.
And then if you're cooking it on the stove, kind of want to be mindful to scrape the bottom of the pan because it kind of sticks to the bottom a bit, just because it's starchy. But that's also where the goodness is. Add some more water to that if there is more water. Leave that on. Yeah, and then I wanted to talk about entering a fast or a cleanse and then exiting one. So a couple days before, you might want to start titrating certain items from your diet, like if you eat meat or dairy, you drink alcohol, sugars and processed foods. Start taking those out so you can like kind of lean in, ease your way in. Oh, perfect. Kind of preparing your body for this. And then on the way out, same kind of thing. You want to slowly add foods back in. If you go ahead and just sort of eat like you normally do right after not eating for about 5-6 days, you're going to know the reason why. It's uncomfortable, you know?
So what would you recommend would be a good first day off of the cleanse? What would be a good breakfast, lunch, and dinner?
For breakfast, definitely oats, something cooked and warm. You could also do like some raw fruit. Just think about things that are easy on the system, you know, clean, whole, simple foods, nothing too complicated. And then for lunch, maybe you do a different kind of soup or some steamed vegetables with a grain, and dinner, same kind of thing. Dinner, you might want to add something more. I would still keep it plant-based that first day after, even if you're not plant-based. And then the next day, and you want to make sure you're eating slow as well, those next few days after. So you can like be in communication with your gut, because your gut will tell you, especially after doing something like this for any length of time, your stomach is so clean, and it's, I don't know how you feel, but my gut feels very light and like it's affected my mood, you know, I feel very calm and peaceful relatively. And then you'll notice it's a good way to kind of look at how foods affect your moods after a cleanse like this. So you'll start to see just how they do. once you've taken a break from certain things. And then you may not want to continue eating in a certain way, you know? So that's going in there, beautiful. And then we're just going to let that cook down.
This one's on, and this one is
Thank you. I'm glad you're here. Yeah, let's do that. I'm going to fry up some ginger in this one, so I might as well keep that on. Isn't that pretty? Doesn't it look like a map of something or some such?
And it smells so good.
And put the ginger in here, fry the ginger up. So you don't have to fry the ginger up, but this is 6 days on this, so I'm looking for a little variation. So I'm going to throw some ginger fried up and top the soup with that. But you could very well throw the ginger in there and cook it down and have it be soft. I mean, there's, like I said, there's untold variations of this. That's why I feel like you can't get it wrong. You're just making a new variation. You know? Let that fry up. And then, voila. We'll top it with some cilantro. Yeah, squeeze a little bit of lemon on there. And bon appetit. Wish I knew how to say that in Sanskrit.
And for a finished product, this is how it should look. Or an option.
Yes.
It could look, because believe me, mine's looked a little different this week. This looks better than mine.
I would probably add a little more water to this to like cook it down and get a little more soupy. But so the way this cleanse looks is in the morning, you take your soaked beans and rice, you put them on the stove, you do this, and then you just eat out of this pot all day. And then you wake up tomorrow and do the same thing for however many days you're going to do it. 3 days, 5 days, 7 days. And then, yeah, it makes it much easier. Knowing exactly what you're going to eat. You have all the ingredients. You don't have to shop. You don't have to think about creating a meal. It's almost a fast from having to do all that kind of stuff too.
Yeah.
All right,
That's it.
cameraman question.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, cameraman.
Why do I want to do a cleanse?
Well, many reasons. You want to give your body a break from breaking down food all the time. We don't really realize just how much of our body's energy goes towards food digestion. It's a lot. Like 60% of our energy goes to breaking down food, especially if you're eating animal products, even more. So when you stop eating or you eat something very gentle on the digestive system, your body gets to use that energy now towards a myriad of other things: detoxing, rejuvenating, resetting, clearing viruses, healing organs, all sorts of things, resetting the system. So that's one reason. Reason number two, and I'm someone who's kind of a health nut, so I eat really clean, really well, but we live in a big city and there's toxins everywhere in the air, in our products, all around. Mm-hmm. I also enjoy a cocktail or a glass of wine on the regular. So if my body is clean and I've given it nourishment and time to reset periodically, our bodies are designed to handle a certain amount of toxins. You know, it's not about just cutting everything out. For me, personally, is the middle way. How do I enjoy maybe a glass of wine or a martini, because I love myself a martini, but also keep my body healthy, you know? I should be able to do both, and you can. So those are my two reasons. Also, it like makes your skin glow. Like that would be my beauty secret. Someone's like, what's your beauty secret? I would say fasting and cleansing. If you clean your liver and kidneys, your skin will glow. You know, forget what you're putting on your face. That can help minimally. But the glow from the inside out is clean liver, clean kidneys.
Completely agree with that. Now, in some real talk, we've spoken about this before when we did the 3-day cleanse, but I didn't have an experience of it then. But Lucy explained that when you do cleanse, there's a good chance that you might have a reaction to that cleanse because all of a sudden toxins are coming out. Now for me, the first day of this cleanse, less than 24 hours in, I got a real migraine, and I called her and said, could this be linked to the cleanse? And she said, absolutely, because toxins are being pushed out, and you're probably experiencing that maybe for the first time because I've never done a cleanse like this before. So with that knowledge, armed with that knowledge, I was able to write out the migraine, just went to sleep, allowed my body to take care of it, and of course it went away. And I'm not somebody who suffers with migraines. So in a way, it signified to me this cleanse is actually doing what it's supposed to do.
Yes, that is a big point. I'm glad you asked that, because a lot of people will just stop and be like, something is wrong, but actually something is very right, because we store toxins in our fat cells. And when we start to detox, our fat cells release them, which we want to happen, but then they're floating around the bloodstream. So if you don't have good methods of elimination, i.e. going to the bathroom, drinking lots of water, getting it out, sweating, getting it out of the body, then you might experience, it's called Herxheimer's reaction. It's a healing crisis. Headache, fatigue, nausea sometimes.
I've got all of it.
And you just want to, when that does happen, you want to just up your intake of liquid. Water, lemon, if you can get in a sauna, if you can like somehow sweat it out of your body. Dry brushing is helpful to get it to the lymph, so the lymph can clear it for you. Yeah.
And then I did want to ask you about some of the rituals that you like to also do while you're on this cleanse.
The rituals I love, because I like to give myself something to look forward to when I'm fasting, you know, because I'm taking food out. So I call it a spiritual feast. So what I do every morning when I do this khichdi cleanse, I wake up, I do oil pulling. I do neti pot where I clean my nasal passages. I do tongue scraping and then dry brushing of my body. I'll do like a warm oil massage, meditation, yoga. Try to get those things in every day and be more consistent about it when I'm cleansing. Because again, yoga, all the twists that you do in yoga help to detoxify the body as well. Because think about it, you're like wrenching the organs like a little bit of a dishcloth, and they're releasing toxins. So yeah, face masks, hair masks, like I do it all.
I put coconut oil on my scalp.
Yes,
that counts, right?
Yes. Coconut oil accounts for everything. There's nothing coconut oil cannot do.
So overall, if you've soaked your rice and your lentil and your mung bean before, how long does this take to cook down?
25-30 minutes.
Okay.
If you soaked it overnight. If you didn't soak it, it could take about an hour. And also depending what consistency you like this dish at. So for me, I would even add more water, but as you see, the pot is getting real full. So you can only add a little bit more. That'll still be delicious. But it's pretty quick and easy, you know?
So if you had a recommended time period to fully detox the body, if you were going to do this as a cleanse and you really wanted to go for it, how many days would you do?
Even 3 days, minimum 3 days, but even 3 days is a great reset on this. Traditionally, from everything I've read, 9 days is what they recommend. And I always attempt to do 9 days. Sometimes I go 9, sometimes I go 7. This time I'm going 7. You know, things come up. You want to make it accessible and doable. You don't want to feel like you're forcing yourself into doing anything longer than you should, or, you know, missing out on, like, I'm going to see my family on the weekend, so I cut it a little short so I can enjoy my time with them. Because we like to eat in my family, and we like to drink martinis. I love how I'm talking a lot about martinis while I'm making this really healthy meal.
missing the martinis.
Yeah,
looks like the hashtag.
But now my liver is all bright and shiny, you know, so it's like it can handle this stuff.
Ready. Okay.
Yeah, it's polished.
All right. Well, that has been the recipe for today, you guys. I hope you're going to try this at home. If you do have questions about this dish that you want to ask Lucy, just email us, info@littlelessonsoflight.com. Also, check out Lucy's part on our blog. She's always talking about the dishes that she's making, the reasons behind it, more health benefits, and lots more witch tips.
Yes, and I want to also mention that this is a great dish just to make anytime. Like sometimes if I'm at home and I'm just like, I want something warm and comforting and easy, and make some khichdi. And then you can throw it in the freezer and just take it out later, you know? And lots of other stuff you can do with this. Like if it gets kind of mushy, make it into a patty, fry it up like a little mung bean fritter or something like that. Make it into a veggie burger. It's very versatile.
Perfect. Well, try it out and let us know how it goes for you. And we'll see you next week.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye.